Hello everyone, welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a simple complaint form with a screen flow. In many organizations, there's usually a customer support team to handle any issues customers are experiencing. And what customers tend to do is make complaints. So it may be appropriate for the user, the end user, such as the customer service rep, to enter a complaint with any appropriate questions and answers that needs to be logged in. With these complaints logged in, managers or higher ups can really just look over the complaints. So before we begin, I do have some fields that were created, such as billing issues, billing issue type. These are also field dependencies and such. I created other fields such as complaint type as well, date of incident, description of issue type, resolution, service issues, was proof of payment provided, purchase date, and more that you'll see in the ScreenFlow once I set this up. So before you start of anything, yes, do have the custom fields that are needed, map those out, and establish a controlling field and a dependent field for field dependencies. I'm going to show you real quick. So here is the controlling field and the dependent field, because in the ScreenFlow screen element, there is a component called dependent pick list. So prior to setting up the flow, you do need to establish this field dependency if you are going to use any dependent pick lists. All right, so I'm in my setup page right here. Go to the quick find box and type in flow. Click on flows. On the top right corner, click on New Flow. You're going to start from scratch. Click ScreenFlow, select this, and click Create. Now we have a clean canvas. The first thing I'm going to do is create a get record. So I'm going to name this get case. I wanted to get the preceding case that's being worked on. So object is case. Let's add a condition right here. So let's put ID, case ID, equals, in here in value, I'm actually going to create a variable. So store the variable, API name. So it's going to be called record ID. So lowercase record and capital I, and then lowercase d. And data type, I'm just going to keep it as record. The object is going to be case, and I'm going to keep this as available for input. So when I debug this, I can select a case. All right, so the value here. So I'm just going to put case ID. All right. And I'm going to keep everything as it is, and I'm going to save. Okay, we're going to call this complaint screen flow. Okay, save. Okay, we have the get case done. Now I'm going to add another element called a screen. I'm going to call this complaint okay, that's the API. And right here, I'm going to just add the radio button here. It could be whatever you like. It could be a pick list of some kind, but I decided to use a radio button. I think it'd be just much cleaner. I'm just going to call this complaint type. I'm calling this complaint type because the pick list is called complaint type, has two values. So you get to select your complaint type. All right, now I'm going to keep it as radio buttons, and then choice. We'll do no choice, and we're going to do pick list choice right here. as this. I'm going to call this complaint selection. And this is going to be case. A data type, we'll keep it as that. And then field, we're going to complaint right here. Keep it as default. And there you go. It is complaint selection. Click done. So that's done. Next, I'm going to create a decision element. So decision. And then I'm going to call this complaint path. So I'm going to call this service. And for service, I'm going to select the complaint screen, complaint type equals, and I'm just going to put the full value here. I'm going to add another outcome, which is known as billing. Complaint screen, complaint type equals billing issue. Just put whatever you like. I just put no. We're going to create a screen for the service. Create screen. I'm going to put service screen or whatever naming convention you find appropriate. And I'm going to do a dependent pick list here, as mentioned prior, because I do have dependent pick lists, field dependencies. And I'm going to name this dp underscore service. Okay. And then what object is it coming from? So we just type it as it is, just case as the, as the object name. That's the API name, as it is a standard object. Now, most importantly, we need to get the API name of the field. So I'm going to quickly get the API name of the field. You can find it here in field and relationships. Paste it here, make sure it's good. Then we have to get the second one, which is issue type. Copy and paste this right in here. Okay, great. You can add a label. I'm just going to name this as it is, as the field label. Service issue. Do I want to make it required? Sure, I'll make it required, this field. And I'm going to work on label 2. Issue type. Do I want to make it required? Yeah, sure, make it required. So pick list value 1, as this is text, I will create a variable. I'm going to make this a variable, and I'm going to call it just dp underscore issue. I want to name it text, available for output, keep it that way. And then for the second value, I'm going to create another variable. Gonna name this dp underscore issue type. Put as text, available for output. Okay. That part is done here. The next thing I want to do is add a date. And I'm going to call this the purchase date. I'm going to add another date. I'm going to call this date of incident. Date of incident. And then I'm going to get a text. We'll get a long text field right here. We're going to call this description of issue. And now this is quite optional, but I'm just going to put this here just to show you something later on in the demo. Okay, then I'm going to add a text field, a regular text field. I'm going to call this the resolution. Resolution. Let's look at that is done right here. I don't care too much about the header and the footer. We can hide pause. That's not super important. Previous. Yeah, we can keep previous. As for this one, since this is the finishing, I'll put finish. Finish. Click done. Right over here, we're going to do a update record element. I'm just going to call this submit service issue. Okay. Or update, however you like. I'm going to select specify conditions to identify records and set individually. Yes, that's what I want. I'm gonna take the case object and I'm going to use ID, case ID equals, and then get case ID. Let's see if we can find that. It's specific to this, what's being worked on. Now let us finish this up. So complaint type. What was selected. Date of incident. Description of issue. Do description of issue. Issue type. I'm going to do service. And that was just issue itself. Date. Purchase date. Resolution. I have to change this real quick. Make this the middle value. Okay. And then we're going to make this the top value. Since it's coming from the dependent pick list. Okay. Going to click save. Now it's time for the billing part. I'm just going to take this element and I'm just going to copy it. I'll put this here. Paste this. I'm also going to paste this. I'm just going to change a few things. Copy and put it here. Make a change to this. We're going to call this the billing screen. Billing screen. Okay, so what we have to change here is we're going to call this billing, dp underscore billing. Billing, keep the object API as case. We're going to get the API name for picklist1. So API name, and then for picklist2, we're going to put that there. And then for picklist label, put billing issue reason. That's the label. It can be whatever you want, actually, because just the presentation of it. Keep the pick list required as 1. We're going to have to change this to a different variable. And the label, we'll just make it billing issue type right there. Just add billing. Okay. Time for a new resource. Okay. Variable. We're going to call this dp underscore billing reason. Text, as always, available for output. Okay, and as for this one, we're going to create a variable, dp underscore billing type. Okay, and then we're going to do text, available for output. That's it for the billing part. Now, the billing screen will be a little bit different. I might get rid of the purchase date since this is about billing. I'll keep the date of incident. I'll keep this as, let's just call it billing as the API name to make it unique. And then we'll have description of issue. Just put billing here or whatever you so desire. Resolution, we'll keep resolution there. Just have to change the API name. Since this is a demo, it wouldn't really matter if it's just copy of one, but if you're working somewhere else, you do want to, you know, make it appropriate. Now I have to add a pick list right here. So I'm going to put that underneath this. I'm going to call this was proof of payment provided. I'm going to add a pick list here. I'm going to call this proof of pay. And then from the case, okay, pick list, and then it's going to be proof of payment. Okay. There's that. Now we have to edit this element. All right, I'm going to call this submit billing issue. Just going to delete this. Okay, keep this as it is. Complaint type, yes. Date of incident, I need to change that actually to make it billing, right? This one also, let's put, see, billing of description of issue. For this one, I have to change it to billing issue reasons. And then, let's see, dependent pick list. This would be the top value. This would be billing issue type. This should be the second value. And then this would be the middle value, as it's called, but pick list 2. Purchase date is not necessary. I do have to add one more field, which is proof of payment. Proof of payment. Oops, sorry. And I'm going to add proof of payment provided. Click save. That's it for that. Now, I'm just going to do a quick debug. Just to check if this is going to work. Input, let's do maintenance for guideline, run. So let's select service issue. Okay, and then I'm going to click sales, issue type, ordering process, purchase date. That, let's just say this. Let's call it test. Let's call it test finish. Okay, successfully sorted out. Okay, great. Well, you know what? Let's put this on the case object and see how this looks in real time. So I'm going to get out of here. I have to activate this, of course. Now let's create an action for case. So while we're here, go to the case object right here. Go to button, links, and action. Let's call this, okay, we're going to do a flow. And we're going to do the complaint screen flow. And we're going to do name. That's safe. But let's go to a case and add this. Just to note, I actually did not add it on a page layout. I decided to add it on the Lightning record page. So let's do enter complaint, quick action, done, save. Now, just to give you an overview, here is the case record detail page, and here is the fields. Here are the fields, and here's complaint section, the service issue, issue type, all this stuff right here. But let's go right here. Let's select, we didn't test out billing. Let's test out billing here in real time. Okay, billing issue, overcharge, incorrect changes, date of incident today, test, yes, TBD, to be determined, and finish. There you have it. That is your screen flow with enter complaint. I also want to show you another thing that I mentioned earlier while I was building out the flow. Service issue. Let's just do just a random one. Yeah. So as you can see right here, so description of issue, it's already here as a default since I already added that here on this record. So it'll appear here. So your users don't have to, spend too much time inputting any information. It's like, oh, it's already there. And that can go for all the other fields if you like. Whatever you see necessary. That's all I want to show you right there. But yeah, this is the flow. Could it be a little more pizzazz? Maybe I can add another screen saying, oh yes, values have been submitted successfully. That'd be one great thing. But it's only a matter of how you see fit in your organization. But that's all I want to show you today on how to create a simple complaint form with the ScreenFlow. Be on the lookout for any additional resources, details in the description. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next one.